Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back with an update for the 2-inch squares king size quilt top that I will be making. If you're not familiar with this series, I do have a playlist and I will have that in the description below this video or to the side. And I will also put the playlist in the on the end screen at the end of this video. Go get caught up. So far, all I have done is, I think in the first video I explained to you what I wanted to do. In the second video, I showed you the amount of squares I had cut up to that point, and I really took my time with that. I explained, that this isn't something that I'm trying to hurry up and accomplish, but I think now that everything is cut, and now that I no longer have my fabric business and I have more time, I don't think it'll take me too long to put this beast together. I think it's supposed to be 102 inches square when it's finished. It is 4,624 squares, 2-inch squares, and I believe it's going to go 68 across, 68 down. It's a lot of sewing. I moved all my squares from the bed that you had seen to a table. They fit perfectly, so all the squares are right near where I sew, and I will show you that in just a minute. But I still will be taking some of those squares and just bringing them right to my sewing machine. And I know some of you think I have like a master plan as to how I'm going to put these squares together, but no, there's no plan at all. I would never even want to attempt planning some kind of a design. First of all the colors that you're going to see and that you saw before, this isn't planned either. I just pulled from all the fabrics that I had in my fabric closet, and I cut, and I didn't care what the print was. I did care to this extent. I didn't use anything that was directional, like say if it was little dog motifs. I didn't use something like that because I am not going to be paying attention as to how these squares are put together, and I just didn't want some things to be upside down. I did use some directional like stripes, but I don't care. So if there's stripes, I don't care if they're going vertical or horizontal in the quilt. So that's not a big deal to me. I just didn't want like a motif kind of thing, being upside down somewhere. Hang on. That was just Derek asking me to pick Skylar up tomorrow. So I have meme duties. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yes, I think it was about the directionals. No directionals. I ended up with 231 different prints. It's amazing to me that I had that many different prints in my closet. I actually have quite a few more than that. All kinds of things making noise that I didn't use. I even still have some bolts that are new. And, different things like that. Eventually, I will be getting rid of the fabric I have. Right now, I don't have it in me to even think about selling off what I have. First of all, I do want some fabric for tutorials, things like that. But there is some stuff I'll have to move, and I still have patrons and YouTube members who stuck around. So anytime I feel up to selling something just to move it out, something that I know I won't be using, I will certainly do that. But I just need a little bit of an extended break, and that's what I'm taking, and that's what I'm enjoying. So I don't know really if there's anything else that I want to tell you. I just did want to make it clear that there will be no plan with this quilt. I mean, I'm just sewing stuff together. So let's go look at the squares. Just so you can see, that is where I sew, and those are the squares, all on this table. And once again, it is 4,624 squares and 231 prints. And there's, different amounts for a lot of these. Quite a few are 20 of each print, but I had them all marked so I could keep track and add them up. I think the most I have in any one pile is this, 75 of those. And I think the least I have is right here. I have just 4 of those. So just one more time, I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. All kinds of prints. Now, the way I accumulated a lot of these prints is by using layer cakes or charm packs, because you get a lot of prints. And since I was buying those wholesale and cutting them for my customers, I just would keep some of the 2-inch squares for myself. Lots of colors. Can you imagine if I had to try to think up some kind of a plan for all these prints and colors? No, no, no. They'll just be sewn together, thrown together any old way. And I am well aware that probably everyone knows about chain piecing, but since these are all cut, I want to start sewing. So let's sit down at the machine and I'll just start putting 2 together. I have a broken cutting mat because I cut right through mats because I was always doing so much cutting. So what I did is I just picked up some squares, just a variety of squares. This doesn't make even close to a dent in all the squares I have. And I will just be putting 2 and 2 and 2 and just sending them through. I have another piece like this, and then I also have another small cutting mat. And what I'll do is, if I want to switch it up and have a different variety, I'll just put this on my sewing table, and then I'll fill up another mat. And I just want to, just not be bored with it and, try to work on a whole bunch of different colors at the same time. But it really doesn't matter because there's going to be so much going on in this quilt that, I'm just going to put everything together and it won't matter, what it looks like at the end. I hope it's not hideous. I don't think it will be. I think what I'm going to do is to separate some of these because it's, time consuming to sew and then stop and try to grab some more squares. So I'm just going to separate a few, not too many. Not going to care too much as to what I'm pulling here. I could also just take like one color and spread all those out and then just take one of a whole bunch of other colors. It doesn't matter what I use up. At the beginning, I can use up a whole color or print because that's just going to get mixed up in the end. So let me do all these yellows just for the hell of it. Do a couple purples. Some of these dots. I will enjoy doing this. I really will. And I'm just going to make a bunch of 2 patches at this point. When I have a whole bunch of different 2 patches, then I will start doing 4 patches. I'm not waiting to do all the 2 patches. Oh, and when I send 2 through, you know how many times I have to do that? I have to do that 2,312 times. This is insane. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. I just don't know why. All right, let's just start sewing something. I'm going to take a yellow. Ooh, and I'm going to match it up to this pretty green one. But again, there's no planning here. I do want to be careful with my 1/4 inch. What I do is I'm just using the edge of this foot. I don't even know if it's exactly a 1/4 inch. I don't care. I just want to be consistent, if at all possible. And am I ready? I think I might be. I don't go all the way to the end because I'm going to put 2 more through. I definitely think I like sorting or separating a bunch of these. It's going to be much easier. Here goes the second pair. You just hop right on to the next one. Yellow, purple, I only have to do this 2,309 more times. Let me do some to music, okay? Here you go. You know what? I forgot that I want to time myself when I'm actually sitting at the machine throughout. I didn't, but I will be able to know when I edit. I'll be able to see how much time this took when I look at the editing. So I will do that for this time, and then I'll try to remember to set a timer. But look, I have all these. That really didn't take long. You know what I'm going to hate finger pressing. And I had said that I thought I would like to open. You know what? That's not going to be hard at all. I want to open the seams because I don't want to have to be concerned about nesting. I mean, there's no way I would be able to, have all the seams like one on this side and then the other one on the other side, unless I was to turn them. I don't know. I don't want to worry about nesting. And if the seams fall on the same side, then it gets very thick. So I am just going to open all of these. Oops, I have a funky light. I guess I have to turn it off. Yeah, I guess I'm going to do that. Not going to enjoy that. Okay, so let me snip all of these. Music, please. My camera's a little higher. I think I like this. This is what we've got. That's it. I am going to put my 2 patches in this little box. And like I said, I'll be turning them into 4 patches at some point. And I probably will wait to press the seams. I'll probably wait until I have like 16 patches. And then I could quickly press those. Other than that, I'm going to just finger press and, sew the 4 patches together, just having been finger pressed. I am not spending all that time at the iron, nor am I bringing a little ironing tool to my sewing machine. I'm not spending time pressing those things other than finger pressing until the pieces are bigger. The time it took was 18 minutes. That includes, sorting the pieces, sewing them together, snipping them, opening the seams, because that's what I will be doing when I sit at my machine. So I'm going to have a little timer, and every time I sit down and start to do all that, I'll just let you know at the end how long it took to do the whole entire quilt top. And that will include the pressing too. Everything that, is needed to get that shit done. So I guess that is it for now. I am still editing at the time that I'm saying this, and this video is going to end up being up late, but that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe so you see the rest of this nightmare. Bye.